Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 7th annual New South Comedy Festival online. We've got a great bonus show for you tonight. It's stand-up meets improv. People are going to do stand-up, but for the very first time, content they've never seen before. Please help me welcome your host to the stage, Mr. Tyler Prescott.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the 7th annual New South Comedy Festival. We are so excited to have you. This year, it's digital because coronavirus likes the same thing that comedians like. It likes laughter. It likes being inside in small, dark places. I'm not sure if that's just me or not, honestly. But we're really excited for the show. We've got all week worth of workshops and stand-up and improv and sketch. Check out our website, newsouthcomedy.com, to find out our schedule and everything that we're doing this week. This is a very special show we've got today for you. We're calling it the SUMI Jam. That stands for Stand Up Meets Improv Jam. Jam is not an acronym for anything. It just means jam. That means we've invited a bunch of folks who don't usually all play together to play in this show. What's going to happen is you're going to see stand-up. You're going to see a lot of really funny stand-up, and the only twist here is that none of us have ever done this stand-up before. This is not a preset show that you're going to see me come out here and do the tight 5 that I've written. Instead, there's a bunch of prompts that nobody has seen before that I'm going to share on my screen here and everyone else is going to see. And from there, we're going to do some improvised stand-up. I'm really excited for this show. We've got a whole lot of really great comedians today, and thank you. Shout out to everyone who's watching at home as well. I think that's all the announcements. Check out our website, attend our workshops. We're so excited for this. Let's get started. I'm going to kick us off when I share my screen here. I think we're sharing. Everyone see that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I love the bit where I don't know if everyone else is doing work virtually. There's just this shared new language where everyone says, "Can you see my screen?" Yes. Okay, thank you. And then starts going. And then if you're lucky, you won't get the free space where it's someone in your meeting is on mute. Happens to me every single meeting without fail. Someone's on mute. Let's get started. So I do this thing where I can remember 0 song lyrics. I'll prompt it. If someone says like, "What's your favorite song?" I couldn't tell you. And I couldn't tell you the lyrics to them either. Except for, strangely enough, the only, bar none, song I can remember all the lyrics to is the Water Buffalo song from Veggietales. I'm not sure if any of you grew up as a 90s Christian. I did. If you can tell by looking at me, props to you. But this is definitely a picture of a 90s Christian. Really the only things I watched on TV, I watched a lot of Veggietales. I watched a lot of like Cyber Chase. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, like PBS children's shows. Which, I mean, that shit really slapped, honestly. But it was really the Veggietales for me that really just caught my imagination. The bit in the Water Buffalo song where the asparagus interrupts Larry the Cucumber and says, "Stop being so silly. We're going to get nasty letters saying, 'Where's my water buffalo? Why don't I have a water buffalo? And are you prepared to deal with that? I don't think so. So stop being so silly.'" And then slams the door. Inspired a lifetime of comedy from me. If you had to pick just one moment that was the impetus for Tyler Prescott doing comedy, it'd be that moment. It'd be watching Larry the Cucumber sing terrible songs. Because let's be honest, the other thing about Veggietales is they're not good. The culmination of this whole story of this whole was a 90s Christian ends with me having an undergrad degree in religion. So not only can I say from a comedy perspective, these shows are not good, I can also confidently say from a religious perspective, these shows are not good. In many ways, they fundamentally misunderstand the point of the story, which is what I'm doing here, I think, is fundamentally misunderstanding the point of Veggietales. Because to me, the point of Veggietales was to inspire a young gay man to go into comedy. I'm going to go to the next prompt. This bitch, let me tell you, this is the stupidest motherfucker. It's not even fun. It's not even funny, right? I only remember her name. I don't remember any of the other people's names in the stories. But somebody would tell her to draw the curtains, and she would draw a picture of the curtains. And okay, but nobody sat her down over the course of like 4,000 novels about Amelia Bedelia and said, let me tell you about what a expression is. And we just like went through a dozen of them. And then sometimes you would hear the same one in a different book and still not understand. Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, I've convinced myself maybe to be an Amelia Bedelia apologist. Did she have no one in her life to tell her about metaphors and similes? Like, that's heartbreaking. Good for her for having a successful career and not understanding metaphor. That's a tough life. It really is. And for your boss to not even say, hey, I just wanted you to pull the curtains closed. Could you do that for me? Is a failure of leadership. If I was someone's boss and I didn't pull them aside gently and be like, you 100% misunderstood what I was talking about. But here's how you can do it better next time. I would lose my job. Shame on every single person that surrounds Amelia Bedelia in her life. And I wish her all the best. That's it for me, everyone. I'm hosting tonight. We've got a ton of really great comedians for you. I'm just now realizing that when I'm sharing my screen, I also can't see the chat. Harrison, can you see the chat and tell me who's up next?
Andrea.
Oh, I surely can. Andrea's up first.
Andrea is up next. Awesome. Welcome to your screen, Andrea.
Hi, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Let's get a new prompt. Because I don't know who she is. Oh my God, my favorite. My favorite. And not when I'm drunk, like on a Saturday. You know, at 1 p.m. Like I could really go for a Big Mac. And sometimes I do. I don't know if you can tell, but sometimes I do. So I am a junkie thrifter kind of person. I love to go hit up the antique stores. I love antiquing because who doesn't need more junk? And I went into, a few years back, I went into this awesome place in Tryon. I don't know if you've ever been. It's a great place to go antiquing because there's like places on every corner, and I walk in and I'm looking around at all the booths and I look down and there is a Big Mac shaped cookie jar. It is a Big Mac. There's no, it's not like, oh, that's a hamburger. No, it's a Big Mac. Like, remember the song, like 2 burgers, pickles, sesame seed bun. Remember, that's how I remember lyrics like Tyler does. So, so I picked it up and I said, mine. And my husband said, you're not actually going to buy that, are you? And I'm like, this is going to be displayed proudly in our home, which it is. And later when I got home, I was super excited to find out that only district managers who performed, or owners, excuse me, not even DMs. Oh my God, you have to own a McDonald's to get one of these, because you have to perform and meet your sales goal, and then you get the Big Mac cookie jar. Right? Like, that's super exciting. You know, his wife was like, "Oh, congratulations, honey. Let's just put this at the Goodwill." And that's how I got it. So that was awesome. Let me get another. Because seriously, why? Before my dad passed away, you guys, he lived long enough to see the transition of Caitlyn Jenner, which I think was a really interesting topic to broach with a man in his 70s. And we were talking about it, and I said, you know, did you see the cover of the magazine? He said, yeah. And I said, what did you think? And he said, why now? And I said, what do you mean? And he was like, well, why would you bother when you're old? He didn't even say why. He just said, what's the point of being a woman if you can't be pretty?
Oh, jeez.
Let's get another. So I've always wanted to sing the national anthem at a local game, right? Like that's a dream. But there's a fear there that the crowd's just not going to get on board with you, right? And like you'll end up like Roseanne Barr. Oh, say, can you see? And that's my time.
Nice.
Thanks so much, Andrea. That was great. Give it up for Andrea one more time.
Yeah.
Our next comedian, all the way from Salt Lake City, is Wyne Seymour. Give it up for Wyne Seymour.
Woo! Yeah.
All right. Wine, is that like the wine that you drink but not gonna give you the drunk? It's kind of like the, you know, like people take the CBD things this day. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's just like weed, but it's not gonna give you high. So why don't people just like drink tea then? Green tea would be better, you know?
Yeah.
CBD is expensive. Pet raccoon. Pet raccoon is my things. I guess this is what you would buy if you have low self-confidence and you have no friends. This is my pet, and this is my pet. I am happily single, and this is my pet raccoon. Raccoon, say hi to everybody. Raccoon!
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Everybody meet my pet raccoon. He give me comfort. He's really good pet. Well, he's just really good. Creamy, creamy. That's what pet raccoon would like for his dinner. Creamy. So like, okay, so I moved to this country, and and when I first moved here, I was surprised. I was shocked at the amount of sugar you guys put in the food, you know? I was like, well, use it sparingly. This is, you know. And then my aunt would call, she's like, is everybody happy there? Yes, they take a lot of sugar and cream. That is their secret sauce. Let's have the next one. That to you. Okay, that to me. Think that are dead to me. Let's see. Mortgage. Dead to me. You're dead to me. Student loan. Dead to me. You're dead to me. What else is dead to me? Water buffalo. That should be dead to me too. And then what that lady called? Amelia blah blah blah. Is that a medication for low confidence? Like this. because your self-esteem is below the sea. Texas. Oh yes, you are dead to me. Low self-confidence. Dead to me. Last one. I'm addicted to this. Nut milk. Oh my goodness. I did not know that nut can provide milk. I tried to squeeze, you guys, like try to squeeze. Nothing came out. How did they make it work? Then they said, okay, you put it in the blender, you put some like water, and then you put the nut. So now you just have like, it's not nut milk, you guys. It is water flavor nut. That's what it is. Flavor water nut. Okay, you want to give me master bath? Master bath is what I'm taking every day after my nut meal. I'm taking it with my nut meal. Sometimes I use my nut meal as my master bath. That's what's giving me the confident boost. That's why my skin is so shiny. And that's how my pet raccoon liking it. A master bath. Don't swear. I never swear. But the only one time was, okay, so my house got broken in. True story. My house got broken into. I'm sitting in this hearing and the guy said, quote, and I quote, this is the guy who broke in my house. He said, we broke into this lady house. We searched everywhere, but there was no volleyball. That's what he said. You know, I'm like, can I just take that as a testimony and then just post it outside so people don't attempt next time? Like, don't swear if you can't find things in my house that are not valuable. And don't take my master bath, okay? Don't take my nut meal. Don't take my pet raccoon.
Love it.
Is my time over? I don't want to take people's time. This is way fun though.
Give it for Wen Seymour. That was great. Thank you so much, Wen. Our next comedian is from Greenville, South Carolina. He's gonna have a lot of funny stories to share with you. His name is Walter. Give it up for Walter.
Yeah.
So I inherited this?
Yeah, she didn't use it. It's all yours.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't know really how to plan a family as a gay man. I will tell you, I did have one incident which could have turned out differently.
Oh.
And that was my husband and I had two lesbian friends, and they wanted to have a baby together, but they needed some sperm. And first they asked my husband, and he said no. And they had all these conditions like, you know, you can't intervene in the raising of this child. You'll have no role in the raising of this child. All you will do is provide the seed, get it started, and we'll take it from there. And I was like, okay, I need to think about this. Which is true. I mean, that's not a, well, I guess some people in the back of the seat of a car at a drive-in movie used to make this decision very quickly or without thinking about it. But I needed to think about it, but they never got back to me. And I think, I think back about this and think, frankly, the way they raised that little girl, I would have had to go to a different church when she's standing on the pews, and you know, a 5-year-old standing on the pews and during the church service. I don't know. I would have had to move to, I would have had to become a Mormon or something. I couldn't go to the Unitarian Church anymore because I could not bite my lip when I saw the offspring of my seed acting that way. I couldn't do it. So I guess the plan came out for the best. Just my slight hesitation saved me from a lifetime of remorse. Let's have the next one. I'm retired. But, you know, if you're going to retire, you need to do some planning. Speaking of planning, you need to have something besides work going on in your life while you're working. Or otherwise you stop and you're like, okay, now what? what am I going to do? So I started with improv. I started with Toastmasters, which is public speaking, and I kept up with my photography and followed my husband around while he photographed flowers, and it's it's been terrific. You don't want your life to stop, so find something to do that you really love during your career, and then when you leave it, still have something else to do. That's my rant. Don't be lazy about your retirement. Work at it. Let's have the next one.
Cool.
But this makes me think about the purple pill for some reason. They say, well, there was this kid in the Baptist church, and the preacher was saying, having the kind of the children's time at the front of the church, and he said, what does the resurrection mean to you? And the kid raised his hand and he said, well, if you have it for more than 4 hours, you need to go to a doctor. So that's right. And I don't do that, but sometimes I do take these other pills. I take supplements, and they're supposed to make me, they help my blood circulation. And there's been a few times when I wondered, should I call a doctor? I didn't take the purple pill, but I dropped it. It went away. It was fine. I'm okay. Let's have the next one. I want to write a book called Where Hitler Went Wrong.
Oh.
What was his big mistake? Why did he not succeed in life? It would be like a self-help book, how not to be a Hitler. These are the things to do. These are the things not to do. Like you don't invade other countries. You don't murder millions of people. I don't know. That might be too easy a book. It would probably only have a 5-page, one chapter. So I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea for a book. Let's just finish it. Forevermore. My
Give
grandma.
Walter.
Okay, that's my time.
Forevermore. Walter, I feel like writing a book called What Hitler Did Wrong would be really short. It would just be like, don't be Hitler. Do anything else.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Walter. That was incredible. That was so funny.
Okay.
Our next comedian, all the way from Simpsonville, South Carolina, is Corey.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, man, let's get this thing rolling here, huh? Oh, I'll take a new one. Okay. So I grew up, I was born in the 80s, so I grew up during the time of the Mickey Mouse Club and all this other stuff. And whoever knew that these sweet young children would become, the crazy whacked out celebtards that they ended up being.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine, Christina and Justin, ending up as crazy as they are. And so this song really shaped some of my feelings about who to envision as role models and what types of music specifically to stay away from. So I used to love the 70s version of this, the movie with the old dude that rocked out. He was like, yeah, you remember what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
He used to, oh man, he used to kill it on singing this song, and that's all I know about this. I am an incredibly, not incredibly, I am a slightly hairy guy, and it doesn't stop here. It goes, down the chest or down the back as well, unfortunately. And so, I'll get in the bed, and our dog and cat sleep with me and my wife as well. And the other night, Emily reached over and just started
No.
Oh, no.
So I apparently have to do something about that before I get into bed anytime soon. I like Gwen's green tea idea instead of buying CBD because if you're gonna take CBD anyways, you might as well just smoke some weed. I mean, if you're gonna mess with the whole CBD stuff and possibly test positive, you might as well get a little kick out of it. Is all I'm saying. Now, if I ever run for public office, of course, we're going to completely redact this video because hopefully this will be a legal substance at that time. I stayed home because I had a tummy ache today. And then, as it turned out, the world's power shut down for no reason because it was super windy and some trees couldn't hold up their limbs like they used to. It kind of scares me that these 60 and 70-year-old trees went down with a nice breeze and took out half of South Carolina with them. Yeah. But I guess it was more than just a light little breeze. It was a little hurricane or something like that happened way off the coast and then ended up messing up my day of staying home from work. I don't get the Matrix. This is going to be a tough conversation right here. I don't get the Matrix. I don't know what IQ level you have to have in order to understand that you get to choose what you want. Because life doesn't work that way, guys. It's not a computer generated thing. Hey, if I want to dodge a bullet, I just get to. So, take that blue pill, okay, guys? And that's my time.
Good for Corey. That was so funny, Corey. For legal reasons, everything said in this show is and probably will remain a joke.
More weed every day.
Yeah, no idea what you're talking about there. For sure. Next up to your screen is Charles. Charles is coming to you all the way from Florida. He moved there specifically so he could be a swing voter. Charles, good it for Charles.
For the tourist capital of the world, Orlando, Florida. So I spent 7 years of my life in South Carolina, and I had moved there from South Florida. I'm not a religious person at all, but when I first started at my job there, there was a contest to see who could recruit me for their church.
What?
There were at least 4 people vying for me to go to their church, try to just recruit me and be the ones who could claim victory over me. They could put me from my agnostic atheism to one of the regular old South Carolinians. I am so sad about this Halloween, not being able to hand out the candy to these children, but I think that they could finally use a trick in their life, get all the treats. So it's about time that they got a damn trick.
Yep.
My girlfriend had surgery on her foot last year, and I was her kind of life support at that time, and her chauffeur and the one who opened the doors and all those sorts of things. So I'm like kind of waiting for that moment in my life where I can like cash in the credit for that. Like, just take it easy for like a solid 2 months and be like, hey, remember that time that I like picked up everything for you and got everything from the kitchen for you, and then I can just like be like the laziest bum on the planet. I think when it comes to be my wedding day, I would like to just have a little bit of a flair of style where maybe I'd throw in a little something unconventional, just like real sly under the radar. You know, maybe you'll get my ears pierced or something, you know, something just to throw people off, like, well, I haven't seen Charles in a while. He's changed. I don't use any gum or breath mints or anything like that. But my girlfriend is one who definitely likes those sort of things, like Altoids and all that other stuff. And she's like always like looking through my car, like looking for stuff that is not there. Like I do not have any breath mints or gum or anything like that. And she knows that. And that's just a convenient little excuse that she might use to snoop around in the vehicle. I am the opposite of this. But you know, every once in a while I get the courage to, you know, come on stage here and give you guys a little show. What
little show?
You know, just one of these days I'm just gonna take it all off and just, you know, give you a little something.
Might as well go, man. Go.
It could got me one of these. Yeah. I definitely have a modern woman in my life who's a doctor. She's a resident physician, and by far outclasses me in every possible way, and I love her for it. It's amazing. And well, I there's no joke here. I'm just a lucky dude. So thank you very much. That's my time.
Give it up for Charles Letizia, everybody. You can find Charles on Facebook, Instagram, and OnlyFans. All you have to do is Google his name. Our next comedian is Abigail Durbin. Abigail comes all the way from Greenville, South Carolina. Give it up for her.
Abby.
Woo! I guess the next, fake brews. Wow. I am a fan of the brews, but when I go into like bars and stuff like that, they always ask me, hey, what kind of beer do you want? And I'm like, I just want a beer. And they're always like asking me, do you want it more hoppy? Do you want it like this? I'm like, which one's probably going to get me drunk? And like, oh, okay, well, so I always get a light beer because I'm really girly and boring, I guess, but I'm not a beer connoisseur or anything. So you can do the next one. Pumpking. Wow. Pumpking. I'm a big fan of Halloween. And so every year I try to make my own Halloween costume, and I get like really serious. And this year was just kind of depressing because I'm all dressed up and know where to go. And I think this year is my best costume because I'm always late for everything. I'm never on time. Like I was born 3 days late. Nice. My whole family is always on time to everything. And so this year I decided to be the White Rabbit from Wonderland because he's always late. So this year has been kind of depressing because I can't do that. Help me. I do need a lot of help. in my whole life, I guess, because I act young or I'm just kind of loopy or out there, people have always tried to help me. And so, like, everyone's mothering me some way. Like a friend said, "Oh, be careful. Let me hold your ticket so you don't lose it, blah, blah, blah." And my mom, she's the biggest helper. She likes to teach me how to socialize because I'm not very good at socializing and being social. So we'll go in the car and we'll run through scenarios of life situations and say, "Hey, what should you have done in this scenario?" And I'm like, "Mother, this is terribly embarrassing." And she's like, "No, no, we gotta practice." And so she is my biggest helper and my biggest fan. But yeah, she helps me a lot. I'm trapped. Um, I've always wanted to do a lockout room or whatever you call those things because they look really fun. But I've never like gotten people together to do it because all my friends are pretty much not as exciting as me. Love them, but they're not. So I haven't gotten anyone together to do that, but I think it would be fun. I just don't think I'm smart enough. Like, okay, so I have mild autism, which it's a spectrum. And people always say, "Oh, so you must be really smart." I'm like, "No, I'm not that kind of autism." I mean, everyone thinks that I must be some sort of savant or whatever. No, so that's why I haven't done an escape room because I am not that smart. No wardrobe. I am a shopper, so I shop all the time. And it's like I go shopping to get clothes and then I feel bad afterwards. And then I'm like buying all this stuff and then I don't wear it or I give it away or I'm just a serial shopper. So it's a cycle of being really sad. So you go shopping and I spend like 2 hours in Target just doing nothing but looking around. And then I'll convince myself, "Hey, you need to buy this." And then I'll convince myself I don't need to buy it. And I'll buy it and then I never use it. And that's just depressing, but fun. Next one. No air. Um, I think I do take up a lot of the air in a room just because I talk a lot, um, which is weird because I should be shy and closed in and all that stuff. But I go places and with help from my mother, because I get help, she tells me, you're talking too much. You need to stop. You need to be quiet, let other people talk. And so she, again, very helpful mother. And so thank you for watching this. This is my first time, so thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Give it up for Abby Durbin, everybody. That was hilarious. All right. Next up, you might know her from her frequent posts on LinkedIn about buses. It is Nicole McAden. Give it up for Nicole, everybody.
Yay.
Woo, woo, woo. All right. So my mother, there was one time where my mom decided to join a church choir. And so for Christmas, she needed to purchase an outfit that would be a part of the uniform for the Christmas, not pageant. What is it that they do? Like a concert, right? Like the choir is going to sing in the concert. And it needed to be dressy, and they were all going to wear just plain black. And so it's like, this should be easy. This is going to be my Christmas present. Let's go shopping to pick out your fancy black outfit. And we go to Kohl's. And we're shopping around Kohl's, and I'm looking for fancy things. So I'm thinking like something with a little sheen, maybe a little lace. And my mom goes and hunts for clothes in the opposite direction, and she comes back with a black t-shirt. I was like, I don't think that's what your church wants you to buy, but okay, like this isn't going to become an argument. But my mom is also very petite. Like much smaller than I am. I'm not sure how she gave birth to me. The proportions don't match up. And they did not sell clothing in the small enough size for her, but she insisted that these pants would fit. They did not fit. And so all I can picture is her going up for Christmas time with like these pants that are way too large and a t-shirt. But we didn't even get to that point because she quit the choir like the next week. Yeah. All right, we'll go to the next one. Man, pineapple upside down cake. Am I right?
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like everything about it is fantastic. You can have it in like large cake form, in individual sized cake form, in alcoholic drink form. It comes in any form of liquidity or firmness that you would like. Like a lot of other things that could not be as good as pineapple upside down cake. It can come in a lot of textures. But it is weird that like shots try to come in these flavors based off of something else that tastes way better.
Yep.
You know, like candy apples, like a candy apple shot is nowhere near as good as a candy apple itself. Or what else is there? Liquid cocaine. I mean, so I think it's a sales tactic, obviously, that we're gonna try to sell this this beverage based off of a name that sounds enticing, knowing that you're gonna throw up later. We'll get the next one. Oh man. So my husband likes to I call it tornado in his sleep because
Tornado.
he spins and wraps the covers around himself, you know, and takes them away from me. And it turns out he gets it from his family because his dad also has RLS, and his wife, so my husband's stepmother, calls it dancing. So my husband tornadoes and his dad dances. And so I think there was just a missed calling for you know, something athletic that would have made our family more money, but we don't we don't have any high rollers. Like, where's the sports association for this? I know that if we have children, they would not be athletic at all, and so it's not going to get us anywhere with his lean muscle mass and his ability to somehow rip the sheets from around my body that I think I've like wrapped up tight enough, but like it's like David Blaine or one of those tricks where you like whip the tablecloth from underneath all of the plates, and but he's ripping them from around me, and it's not pleasant. So if you have RLS, don't they say like you should use a weighted blanket, or even like a sleep apnea machine helps. So try it all. Save your partner some time and headaches. The resistance. I just realized I forgot to set my timer, so I'm gonna resist being craned off of the stage of this. I think when I think of resistance, I think of workout like rubber bands. And when I think of workout rubber bands, I think of fail videos. And if you guys want a good laugh, my favorite fail like video feed is to go to the Reddit subreddit Hold My Cosmo. And it's a series of videos. For the most part, there are other things too that lead up to these situations, but for the most part, it is women who are attempting to be sexually appealing after they've had one too many beverages, and probably too many of those liquid cocaines. Am I right?
Yeah.
But they decide, you know, like now is the time that I'm going to attempt to do a flip that leads into a split on top of the bar. at like Pete's Dive. And it never ends up well. I mean, that's why it's made it to the video. Maybe they've had a lot of successes leading up to that one time. And if that's the case, then I applaud you. Good for you for having enough wins in your life that you're willing to try this again. But I think you probably should have just left that for home. A safer bet.
Give it a reading for Nicole McAden. Yeah, that subreddit is hilarious. I take personal pleasure in watching other people inflict pain upon themselves, as Nicole has described. Thank you for. Last tonight, we have all the way from Los Angeles, Evan Harris herself. Give it up for her, everybody.
Oh man, this is exciting. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm so excited. All right. I just want everyone to know my pants are not buttoned, which has been a true joy for like 8 months. Hey. Unlike the rest of everyone, I'm like wearing pants with buttons, but I'm not doing them. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh God. I will okay. I am not proud of this, but I'm going, because I'm not proud, I'm just telling everyone, I did break down during this dry spell I was having, and I was seeing a guy, and like, I was real vigilant about like getting like some clean tests and being like, you know, like, let's bubble this out. And I was making some bad choices. Like this man, I met him and he was like, all right. But like, he just wouldn't stop saying things like, I didn't think I'd be so attracted to you. Which is like, and I slept with him several times. So it's like, oh my God, doesn't matter. But I'll tell you what, like the deal, like the thing that like was like, I have to cut you loose. We had like just had sex. And then he was like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I've been flying back and forth from Texas for the last 2 weeks. And that was like, what? My wake up call. But I just can't believe I slept with a man who said, I didn't think I'd be this attracted to you. And he was so smug about it. It set back my personal feminist clock, I think. You know, I didn't set all women back, but I definitely set myself back. All right, I'll forgive myself. Here's what, okay. I don't know why Tyler spent 10 minutes talking about cartoons when he could have talked about how great broccoli is, all right? I don't think there's any, like, hot debate, but, like, I love broccoli. Okay, for a couple reasons. One, when I was little, my mom was like, you're like a big giant, and these are little trees, and it made me feel, like, so much power, and just, like, I was just like, yeah, that's right. I'm taking this force down. And that may be, like, I don't think, like, that's a new thought. I think like most kids are told that, and it might be why none of us care about climate change. Yeah, I don't know. But like now that I'm older, I have like a more adult appreciation for it. I'm like that fiber though. Like like that I've recently like found myself caring about flossing and fiber so much. Which is so embarrassing because I'm like wearing this dumb hat for flossing. All right. No. I have never ridden on a train like across like Europe. But I imagine it's great. Like I've taken the Amtrak like in New York, and that is fine when it's running on time. But like I just imagine like future me with no budget, just like sipping expensive like tea and also having like champagne on the table with like raspberries. I don't know. Future me is sophisticated. And just like staring out the window while I hold like a journal, just like a leather bound red journal where I'm taking down the most notes for the novel I'm writing about like pièce resistance. And when I think about trains, that's what I think about. I'm like, someday that'll be me. Like I know a lot of people feel like someday I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna have millions of dollars, or I'm gonna have like true love, and like someday I'm gonna be on a train with champagne. That's my dream. Okay. Oh no. You can't trust anyone named Bruno.
Oh.
Hot take. And I'm not apologizing to the guy watching this whose name is Bruno. I will apologize to the lady. I'm sorry for making assumptions. I just like, I don't want to be namist, but Bruno really sounds like a dog name. Bruno's a name I'm shouting at an animal.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you to sit down? It's dinner time, Bruno. It's got a good like cadence to it. And like, I guess when I said you couldn't trust a Bruno, what I meant was I will never trust a Bruno.
There you go.
Yeah.
But if you're single and you're like 30, call me.
Oh.
That feels right. That feels right. Oh gosh. Yes, okay. I just love all caps energy. I just am about like really emphasizing how much I care about just anything at all. I just have opinions. And like some people are like, I don't care. Like I know Abby was like, I don't have a preference about beer. I absolutely do. Okay. Like a dark ale that's like $8 and like 25%. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to drink beer, if I have to, because you're not serving whiskey or scotch.
Yeah.
If I have to, like I have an opinion about everything. Like, oh man. I was gonna reference Nicole's set, but I was like, I don't have the resistance. Okay. My fear about those workout bands is that while I'm doing a pull-up, I never use these for pull-ups. But if I were to use them for pull-ups, is that when I like go down, it just snaps on me and like hits me in the face. This did happen to me once when I was not doing a pull-up, unassisted. I was doing a dip and my shoe like came off because I never tied them at the gym for style. And it hit the band. The band came up and just whacked me right in the face. No bruising, but 5 people saw, and I gotta tell you what, full nightmare.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. So it was horrible. Nailed it. Okay. Did not set a timer. So this is we're gonna do this till we don't. That's my dream. I think like to me, I always think about like Bebar. I know we were talking about like old school cartoons. CBS Network, 7 a.m. watercolor cartoon. Royal Elephants. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, sir, in the back. Thank you. I feel so seen right now. And I was just like, what a life to just have like you like come in and there's breakfast on the table and you're like, Papa, do you mind? And they're all wearing like suits. This goes back to like train energy. I'm like, oh, what a dream. And I like Nicole was talking about lace and like fanciness, and I'm like, just recently I've like appreciated like finer things. Like, but I had to come to it on my own. Like fiber fancy. But when I was like in 7th grade, my mom and my sister, they were like, no, this is what you want to do. But I just didn't see it yet. And now my eyes are open. I will dance anywhere and I will sing anywhere. I sing at work just like because I want to. And I work for Federal Express. I move boxes. But I will just like start just like singing full songs and just dancing in the just like the cans. You guys don't know what a facility looks like. And people are like, "Are you okay?" And I like was like, "I am the most happy." And like people are like, "You have to stop that." Because it's the graveyard shift. So like it's 1 a.m. and people just do not want this. They're like, can you just dial it down? And I won't. And my boss is like, you have to stop. But I won't. So we'll see how long I'm employed. Okay, I'm gonna do this prompt, but it feels like it's not a prompt.
This is a real prompt.
What? It is?
Yeah.
Shut up. This is exciting. This is like giving me so much power. What? Yes. Okay. Because I just like didn't read the full thing and I'm reading it now, but I was just like assuming it said like click to fill the space in prompts. And I just like, I don't like how we like have mainstreamed all documents for the ease of the consumer. Like, I just don't like it. Okay? I'm like, I'm with the French, when they get like, I heard a rumor once when I was like 10 that someone's like, in France, they don't give kids coloring books with lines and like pictures to color. They give them blank pages. And I have like held on to that forever. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. Because you just got to bring what you bring to the table. And so like Google Maps and Waze or whatever everyone's using, I fully feel that there's a conspiracy of we are congesting ourselves into traffic. That traffic wouldn't exist if we weren't all Googling directions to a place. Hot take. Okay? And it's just some, kids in hoodies being like, yeah, we're going to make everyone take 7th to 8th to Crenshaw. And I'm like, everyone is here. This is a back road. How did this happen? So we're all just clones in the drone army? Nailed it. I know about that.
Give it up for Evan Harris, member of the drone army. Just like all of us. We don't even know. Everybody, this has been a wonderful show. Thank you for the audience here on Zoom. Thank you to the audience watching live with us as well. Thank you to every one of our comics. Make sure to go to our website, newsouthcomedy.com. Check out all the great shows we have this week for you. We've got a lot of great stuff. We've got workshops, we've got improv, we've got sketch, and we have stand-up. Thanks so much for all your time. Love you all. Make good choices.